my name's Michelle and I'm Chief Executive of Humber NHS Teaching Foundation Trust, and we do work with Smile an awful lot. As you know, they help support our Health Stars charity, and it gives me great pleasure when I was asked just to say hello to everybody and congratulations. What a fantastic week to have of volunteers and celebrating the fantastic work that you do, and well done everybody that's been shortlisted, everybody that's won an award, and those of you just for being volunteers. Certainly within our organisation, we could not do our job without volunteers. You are the bedrock of everything that we do, being it from transport, dropping off supplies and hampers. Just having a smile on your face makes everybody's day a little bit better. Obviously, we've got the vaccination centre that's being run a lot by our volunteers, so we utilise and support our volunteers a lot, as does everybody within the NHS family. So thank you, certainly, for everything that you do. Have a fantastic celebratory. I know it's virtual, I know it's difficult, we're still working within the pandemic, but thank you sincerely. Well done everybody, congratulations, and I do hope that you all continue to do the work that you do in the spirit that you do it, because it is truly, truly amazing. It's tough out there, and as I say, we couldn't do our jobs without you, so thank you.
Good evening everybody, and welcome along to this year's Proud to be a Volunteer Awards. We hope you're all sitting comfortably at home with maybe a glass in your hand, a Prosecco, possibly a bar of chocolate if you're under 16, but you're all watching us live on YouTube. Now, all shortlisted nominees received a parcel this week with a bottle of Prosecco to enjoy this evening, so please charge your glasses, ready for the start. Now, it's really nice to see other areas are now recognising these volunteers too, and we're delighted to see other volunteering events taking place all across the region. There's so many amazing volunteers across our region, and tonight is all about you. Volunteers have been such a huge part of our communities, and we want to recognise them, their efforts, their outstanding achievements across all types of volunteering in our community. Now, in a couple of minutes, I'll invite Andy Barber, the CEO of the Hey Smile Foundation, to talk a little more on why Smile wanted to continue with the awards and give us an update on what Smile have been up to in the past 12 months. Firstly, let me just explain how this virtual event will work tonight. The awards will commence and I'll run through the shortlisted nominees and announce a winner. In one or two categories, there's also a highly commended award where our judges just couldn't let somebody go by unsung. So we also have some special awards thrown in as well this year, especially for 2021. You'll also see, if you're watching us, the comment section on the live feed is now open. Please share your good luck messages and words of congratulations to tonight's nominees. Our hashtag for the event is #Proud to be a Volunteer. So please do include that when you're sharing on social media. Remember, #Proud to be a Volunteer. In a couple of minutes, I'll invite Andy Barber, the CEO of the Hey Smile Foundation, to talk a little more on why Smile think recognising volunteers is such an important thing to do. He'll also give us an update on what the Smile Foundation have been up to in 2021. So before we get going, we just want to say a huge thank you to our event partners, Maddle, Nisa Retail's charity making a difference locally, and East Riding of Yorkshire Council. We'd also as well like to say a huge thank you to our award category sponsors. You'll hear them mentioned throughout the evening and throughout the awards. These businesses are all huge supporters of Smile, and they truly recognise both the value of volunteering and the importance of giving recognition to those who give their time to help others. So, without further ado, let's hear from Andy Barber.
So for those of you that are not aware, the Hull and East Yorkshire Smile Foundation has been operating for over 12 years now, working in the communities tirelessly in the background in most cases, trying to support communities to be stronger, utilising the assets that we have here in the Hull and East Riding, and equally supporting the training and development of things like the boards of trustees, as well as the support of grant funding and events and activities that make a real difference in the community and make sure that you, the wonderful charitable sector in our region, can make the difference that you do every day. So why does the Smile Foundation take the lead on the volunteer awards, and why do we put all this together? Well, it's to celebrate the wonderful work that's already going on within our community around volunteers, and to encourage the future of volunteering as well, both young and old. That intergenerational work in volunteering has really come to the fore during the COVID pandemic, but we're also recognising this evening, as you'll be aware, of all the wonderful work that goes on continually every year with volunteering. More than ever, volunteering does make a difference to our communities. It does support the development of individuals, and it equally supports the development of our communities. What we've seen during the pandemic is really how volunteers want to volunteer. For many, many years, we've tried to seek out volunteers to do the projects and activities that we have available to volunteer for. But what we're delighted to see, and I'm sure all of you charitable organisations out there, is how volunteers have stepped up and told us how they would like to volunteer in the future. And that has come from that wonderful work in the pandemic across the Hull and East Riding. We were one of the only areas across the UK that didn't tap into the National Volunteering Scheme. We had enough volunteers in our areas, well coordinated by ourselves and other wonderful charities in the region, to ensure that volunteers were safe and in the places where we needed them at the most difficult of times. What we really want to see moving forward with volunteering is that we continue to listen to the voice of volunteers. We start to create that coordination to be more joined up and forward thinking, and actually make sure that it's based on what volunteers want, not what we want from volunteers. A massive thank you to all of you for what you have done in the charitable sector, managing all those volunteers, which is one of the most difficult things to do. To all the volunteers out there who've been nominated, congratulations. It's great to see you here this evening and celebrating what you've achieved. And most importantly, a massive thank you to the partnership working that's gone on in the last 12 months. Private, public and voluntary sector coming together has to be one of the most successes that we see from the pandemic as we move forward with volunteering. So a huge thank you, enjoy your evening, and I look forward to seeing the winners. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to our public sector services, not just the wonderful NHS and all our heroes on the front line, but equally our public health teams and in East Riding Council and Hull City Council for that partnership working, bringing together the lateral flow testing, and also making sure that as many of you got the COVID jab as possible, bringing us back to as near normal as we can do. That working together again, and equally the investment that the public sector put into the voluntary sector to be able to manage and encourage and make sure volunteers were safe with their high-vis vests, with their umbrellas in the tough winter weather, was a real partnership success. A huge thank you to all of your teams, and thank you once again for encouraging and trusting in the voluntary sector to work as an equal partner at this period of time. So I'm in a very fortunate position to say a huge last thank you to everybody involved in putting together these awards, to Darren and his team, to Sarah in the Hey Smile Foundation team, and to, most importantly, to all our partners and to you, the volunteers, for the incredible work that you continue to do. We know we've got a long way to go and it's a difficult recovery ahead. It's going to be a tough winter, but I know that we can do it, and I know that we're going to make a huge difference going forward and in the learning that we've taken from the pandemic. So keep up the great work. Thank you ever so much. The Smile Foundation are here to help you wherever you need us, and a real well done and congratulations to every winner.
So let's crack on with the award ceremony. Our first award tonight is the Connecting Communities Award, sponsored by Mitsubishi Chemical. Our shortlisted nominations are Neil Birch, City Healthcare; Joanne Burrell, CHCP; Jackie Heffer, Beverley Mutual Aid and East Riding Hygiene Bank; Dean and Ruth Hodgson, Pocklington People's Pantry. And the winner is Joanne Burrell, CHCP. Joanne originally started as a participant on the Empower programme. The Empower programme is the Chronic Diseases Self-Management programme. This is a peer-led self-management programme for anybody living with a long-term health condition and/or carer. Our judges said it was clear to see how Joanne uses her own life experience to help others. She clearly is incredibly passionate about helping those in need and is incredibly good at supporting the most challenging of people. Congratulations, Joanne.
Hi, I'm the CEO of Community Pharmacy Humber, and on behalf of all of those pharmacies, I'd like to thank all of the volunteers who've helped us across these trying times, from helping to deliver vital medicines to crowd control at vaccination sites. Thank you.
Our next award is the Environmental Volunteer Award, sponsored by Transwaste. The nominations are Bridget Elliott, Incredible Edible Marshland; James Cater, Growing St Andrews; the Beck Volunteers; the Wombles of Beverley. And the winner is James Cater, Growing St Andrews. Growing St Andrews is a project bringing about an improved physical environment through the provision of environmental education and coordinated collective action, resulting in the creation of sustainable quality green spaces for play, socialising, learning, growing, cultural activities and celebrations. Our judges said James had taken on a huge task in a deprived community by taking this on single-handed throughout lockdown and gaining respect to the community in times where community is key, and thought he'd done a marvellous job. The reduction in drug use is also a credit to his work, showing how by keeping people busy and engaged, they have better used their time. Congratulations, James. Our third award this evening is the Behind the Scenes Volunteer Award, sponsored by Umber Creative. Our shortlisted nominations are Evelyn Lawson, Bundles of Joy; Sarah Longdon, Hull Good Deeds; Peter Burrows, Groundwork Hull; Sharon George Ricks, Sash; Neil Burton, Pocklington People's Pantry. Now, our judges were really torn by the high level of shortlisted nominations in this category and therefore choose to award a highly commended. The highly commended winner is Sarah Longdon from Hull Good Deeds. Sarah helps to run the Hull Good Deeds group and devotes over 30 hours a week to helping with everything from group admin to helping members. Even after being sadly diagnosed with blood cancer, throughout all of her treatment, Sarah has continued to support the group heavily and was an inspiration to her peers and the members of the group. The winner is Sharon George Ricks, Sash. Sharon is a night stop and supported lodgings host at Sash, and her volunteering is life-changing to the people she supported. Sharon has supported young people through poor mental health, accessing education and employment, accessing health services, filling in forms, learning to cook and care for a home, and budgeting, just to name a few. However, all of that aside, the most important thing she does is listen and gives the gift of her time. Our judges could see that Sharon sets herself aside to put a young person first, and the impact of this is immeasurable. Congratulations, Sharon.
Hi, on behalf of Bridlington PCN, I would like to thank all the volunteers. Without your support, we would not have been able to deliver the COVID vaccinations. So today, we applaud you. Thank you.
Now, before we move on to award number 4, I'm sure we all know somebody, friend, family, whoever, who's volunteered themselves. It was incredible to see so many people sign up for the Smile volunteering opportunity, helping Hull and East Yorkshire. I signed up myself. I was doing some lateral flow testing at the Endeavour Centre on Beverley Road in Hull, and I must admit, it was fantastic. It was brilliant. It was a tricky time for me. I'd not been doing a great deal of work. I was getting a bit down, I was getting a bit fed up, so I needed to get myself out and about. I thought, why not do some volunteering? I'd seen some of the Smile team doing it, they'd enjoyed it, why not? Got myself along, loved every minute, especially not really. That was the only downside. The rest of it was brilliant. Meeting new people, helping out, having such a good time, and a real warm feeling as well that you're helping others. You got such a great feeling of satisfaction at the end of the day when you went home. So I would recommend anybody, if you've got some time on your hands, please think about volunteering, because it really is very, very rewarding indeed. Now, I would like to introduce you to Smile's Programme Manager for Volunteering, Jenny Preston, who's going to talk a little bit more about Smile volunteering. Jenny.
Thanks, Darren. It's brilliant to hear the difference that being a volunteer has made to you as an individual, as well as to all our wonderful volunteers across Hull and the East Riding. So I just want to talk a little bit about volunteering and the difference it has made across our area. I'm going to talk about two different aspects of volunteering. The first is Call a Collective, which is our telephone befriending service, and that's something which was started at the beginning of the pandemic to help relieve loneliness and isolation amongst those who perhaps couldn't get out due to the lockdown. This service is very much still needed, and we're delighted that we have over 40 volunteers who continue to support our most vulnerable across the Hull and East Riding areas. And this really is providing a legacy at a local level. I'd also love to pay tribute to the over 750 volunteers who have taken up arms and volunteered during last winter and on an ongoing basis to help support the vaccine process and lateral flow testing, both in Hull and across the East Riding. You really have been phenomenal. Anything that I've asked of you, you've done with a smile on your face, a cheery manner and a helping hand. Through the wind, rain, snow, sleet, appalling weather of the winter, through to the sun-scorched summer months, you have tirelessly devoted your time to helping others and to help us really get the country back open and up and running. Thank you. I'd also like to say that this need is still ongoing. We're entering the COVID vaccine booster season. So if this is something that after tonight, hearing about all these wonderful opportunities, you think I could do something like that, then please do visit our social media pages, sign up and help be part of something amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jenny, and thank you for all the help you've given me as well during my volunteering time. Now, if you want to volunteer, there is still time. Head over to Smile's social media to find out how. Now, back to the awards. Award number 4 this evening is the Trustee Award, sponsored by Smales Goldie. The nominees are Tony Henderson, Beverley Cherry Tree Community Centre; Pam Trays, Hull and East Riding Breast Friends; Chris and Mia O'Donnell, Emmaus, Hull and East Riding; Ruth Truelove, Hull and East Yorkshire Children's University. And the winner is Chris and Mia O'Donnell, Emmaus, Hull and East Riding. Sir Chris and Lady Mia are both founding trustees of Emmaus, Hull and East Riding and were both hugely influential in its inception and development, and as a result, Emmaus finally opened in 2016. Our judges said about Chris and Mia, they provided strategic leadership throughout a challenging time, demonstrating the governance aspects of trusteeship while supporting the executive team in the process. They're a shining example of how important trustees are to charities and proving that they can make a real impact by bringing their skill to the board. Congratulations to Chris and Mia. Our 5th award is the Volunteer Team Award, sponsored by ARCO. Our nominees are Valued Minds, Space to be Heard, CIC; Healthwatch East Riding of Yorkshire; Clint's Foundation; Emmaus Outreach Volunteer Team; Holderness Farm Watch; People's Pantry Box Packing Team; Friends of Western Library. Now, in such a highly nominated category, our judges struggle to choose between their top. Therefore, we have a split choice and they choose to award a highly commended award. The highly commended winner in this category is Healthwatch East Riding of Yorkshire. The team of volunteers at Healthwatch East Riding are clearly passionate, knowledgeable and have a desire to ensure everyone receives a quality of service no matter what their previous experience or the challenge they face is. Your team also have the added challenge of covering a wide and rural area. Now, during the pandemic, they adapted services to ensure the volunteers could still access those most in need online. A challenge in itself, where some of those you're supporting may find online communication difficult. The work the team of volunteers does improves the service given in our care and health services. which ultimately benefits the whole community. Thank you for striving to ensure everyone receives the care they deserve. The winner is Valued Minds, Space to be Heard, CIC. Our judges said what a fantastic, truly needed service the students provided by volunteering their time. It's not only a brilliant way to gain experience and collaborate as a team, but they are clearly making a massive impact on so many lives. Everyone knows there is need for more mental health services, and the pandemic will not only have impacted those already receiving support, but will have triggered an increase in people needing support. The judges love that the services the students provide is supporting so many people that it's recognised and recommended by other mental health professionals, and that will be helping take pressure off our already stretched NHS. The students also have a long-term relationship with those they're helping, which will not only benefit the person receiving support, but the wider community too. Congratulations and well done to Valued Minds.
Hello, this is a big thank you to all you volunteers, from Dr. Craig Dobson, GP Medical Advisor to the East Riding of Yorkshire, CCG and SRO for the vaccination programme. Thank you very much again. Bye.
It's time to move on to award number 6, Community Volunteer Award, sponsored by the East Riding of Yorkshire Council. Our shortlisted nominations for this award are Julie Neddick, Team V. Pastor Isaac Alamude Alas, Amazing Grace Chapel. Maggie Masters, Sash and Salvation Army. Gordon Calvert, Driffield Farm Watch. Ian Bourne, Platform. Neil Begbie, Gould Boxing Club. And the winner is Neil Begbie, Gould Boxing Club. Our judges said while the standard of entries on this year's shortlist is incredibly high, Neil stood out as a real driving force in the community of Gould, being a key figure in setting up the club from nothing in an area with the second highest deprivation rates in the East Riding. Supported by several charities working together, the club has over 500 people signed up and runs sessions for all aged 8 to 17, and it spreads its inclusivity across a wide range of the local populace. Neil and the team are aiming to reduce antisocial behaviour and help disadvantaged young people and families, provided them all with the positive activity to do locally. Before we move on to Award 7, we have a special recognition award to give out. We received several nominations for this group and they deserve to be recognised. They've really come together for their members, helping with safe reopening once COVID-19 guidelines were relaxed, facilitating meetings for peer-to-peer support, and they provided assurance to leaders. All of this alongside working with East Riding of Yorkshire Council to find the correct funding to help them all reopen safely. This special recognition award goes to East Riding Village Halls Network. On to award number 7, Public Service Volunteer Award, sponsored by the 1 Point. Our nominees are Scunthorpe Volunteer Guides, Chris Hansom, Humberside Police, Ray Parker, Humberside Police and Humberside Fire and Rescue. And the winner is Chris Hansom, Humberside Police. Chris began his volunteering role by becoming a hate crime volunteer, offering support and advice for any community member needing support in relation to hate crime. Chris is a positive role model for our cadets and also some of our most vulnerable young people by helping create a safe environment where they can flourish. Many years ago, Chris was told he was unable to join the police at that time due to certain restrictions when applying. However, many years later, he decided his passion had lessened and joined as a volunteer. His colleagues said how clear it is to see how much Chris loves working for the police, and to win a public service award will be the cherry on top of the cake for him. Congratulations and well done, Chris.
Good afternoon, I'm Stuart Gill, the COVID-19 Vaccination Programme Lead for the East Riding of Yorkshire Clinical Commissioning Group. The vaccination programme in East Riding has been absolutely fantastic. with 90% of residents receiving their first dose and 85% receiving their second dose vaccination. Over 450,000 vaccinations have been provided to East Riding residents. None of this would have been achievable without support of volunteers who have given up thousands of hours of their own time to assist GPs, practices, vaccination centres, community pharmacies and the health and wellbeing bus. The volunteers across Hull and East Riding have done a fantastic job and should be praised for their invaluable contribution to the COVID-19 vaccination rollout. The CCG would like to thank you very much for your continued support. Thank you very much.
Our next award is the Sports Volunteer Award, sponsored by Active Humber. The nominees are Ryan Gibbons and Paul Dolan, City of Hull Boxing Club. Conleth Campbell, Ellerton Blackburn Football Club. Liz Green, New Life Support. Val French, Pocklington Tennis Club, Bree Cycling and Pocklington Rugby in the Community. Albert Hardy, Gould Boxing Club. Now, again, our judges were undecided on this award and they've chosen to award a highly commended. The highly commended winner is Val French, Pocklington Rugby in the Community, Pocklington Tennis Club and Bree Cycling. Our judges could see the commitment Val has to the community of Pocklington, having been a member of Pocklington Tennis Club for over 50 years, a founding trustee for Pocklington Rugby in the Community and the area coordinator for British Cycling. Val is happy to get stuck in with anything that comes her way, from organising fundraising events, sharing a love of sports with the community and even more so recently during the pandemic, playing a lead role in organising over 80 volunteers through the Pocklington Rugby in the Community charity. She's helped arrange meals for those who are isolated, lonely and vulnerable. Well done, congratulations, Val. And the winner is Ryan Gibbons and Paul Dolan, City of Hull Boxing Club. Whilst both nominated separately, it was clear to our judges that they are both a key part of the City of Hull Boxing Club. They have a focus on reshaping young people's outlooks and ensuring they know to always reach for the stars. Both have demanding full-time jobs, but find the time to be inspirational figures for the children in the gym by sacrificing all of their spare time to be on hand for coaching, mentoring and support. Truly selfless people who strive to look for the good in people. Congratulations, Ryan and Paul. Our ninth award is the Young Volunteer Award, sponsored by Hull Youth Support Trust, a new sponsor for this year. It's lovely to have you on board. Our nominations are Martha Godber, Godber Theatre Foundation, Oscar Kershaw, Ascend Hull, Dagmara Podsiadlo, Head Start Hull, Chelsea Penn, Help the Homeless, Kelsey Bolton, Health Watch North Lincolnshire, Alicia Sanariva, Pocklington Vaccine Stewards. Now, our judges were undecided on this award and have chosen to give a highly commended. The winner of highly commended in the Young Volunteer category is Kelsey Bolton of Health Watch North Lincolnshire. Our judges were impressed with how much Kelsey is clearly growing in confidence whilst being a volunteer telephone support buddy. Especially with everything that has happened in the last year, it is truly commendable. They thought it was very impressive to see how much courage and kindness she has shown and how much she means to her befriendees, helping her feel connected to the outside world and not so lost. And the winner is Martha Godber, Godber Theatre Foundation. The Godber Theatre Foundation was Martha's vision, and she already undoubtedly has given so much to the young people of Hull and East Yorkshire who are involved in the arts. This is only the beginning. Putting her time and effort into the foundation, and the members ensuring they're able to achieve their dream by running one-to-ones, organising workshops, creating opportunities and consistently being at the other end of the phone for those in need. It was clear to our judges that our heart and soul in this project, and it really paid off. Well done, Martha.
Just want to thank all the SMILE volunteers for their contribution with assisting with the COVID vaccine clinics. It has been a pleasure to meet such a lovely bunch of volunteers that have been keen to help the Riding's medical group. They stood out in the rain and the snow but never complained. It's been nice to see the same volunteers coming back time after time to help, even to the point of us recruiting a new receptionist who was one of our regular Smile volunteers. You've all done an amazing job and can't thank you enough.
Massive thanks from Beverley Racecourse for all your help.
Now, before we move on to this evening's penultimate award, we have a special recognition award to present. This gentleman founded a children's charity in Hull in 1996 with the aim of inspiring children to fulfil their potential. He retired in 2014 due to ill health after battling with beta-related anxieties and depression. But with the support of his family and his friends, he's now recovered significantly and is now taking on running challenges to raise funds for his beloved charities, the Hull Children's University and Alzheimer's research. Have you guessed who it is yet? Well, we're delighted to introduce Mark Stockdale BEM, who volunteers with the recipient of this evening's award. To tell us who you're presenting this special award to, Mark.
John, I've known you for 25 years since we first met during the very early start-up of Hull and East Yorkshire Children's University in 1996 at Francis Askew Primary School. From the start you were the driving force behind the charity, and no matter what obstacles and adversities you came across, you challenged them with that win-win personality of yours. This was mainly due to the fact that your first thought was always how you can make things better for the children of this wonderful city. Every day you inspired myself and others around you to step up and help the children to achieve better things for themselves, and it is something that I will feel proud to have been part of. You grew the charity into what it is today, helping over 8,000 children every year go on experiences they would normally never dream of attending. A fantastic achievement which has included many children, teachers, mentors and local businesses all coming on board and being part of your wonderful charity. Your personality, attitude and enthusiasm has always shone through, and it was all these that brought me to come and sample your charity all those years ago, and you should be so proud of what you have achieved. John, this award is for all the time, effort and many battles you put in to keep going through the many adversities that you have faced over the years, and you should be so proud of this. John, many congratulations on receiving this award.
Thank you, Mark, and congratulations again to Dr. John Butterwick, MBE, a truly inspirational story. Now, we move on to the Fundraiser Award, sponsored by a new sponsor this year, Smile Health. Our nominations are Pat Howdle, Humberside Fire and Rescue Service; Anne and Stephen Winter, Health Tree Foundation; Sean Dale, Flourish; Deck Marshall, Health Tree Foundation. And the winner is Sean Dale from Flourish. Our judges were very impressed with Sean, overcoming personal difficulties of his own, including limited mobility, to raise funds for a fantastic cause that is identified as needing extra support, and he's not letting anything get in his way. He's using true determination and lots of passion. Originally inspired by Sir Captain Tom Moore, Sean has now become an inspiration to many of his peers, of whom he attends Flourish with. Congratulations, well done Sean. Now, before we move on to our last award of the evening, we have an incredibly special award to give out. It's a new category we've added for the first time this year. As you heard earlier on tonight, we have a young person volunteer category, but we've decided to add an older person volunteer category too. Moving forward, this award will be recognising volunteers over the age of 75. This year, there was only one winner. Last month, the Smile team lost somebody who they would very much say was one of their own. A true gentleman who had volunteered for multiple charities in Hull and East Yorkshire, including running the Dove House car boots for a number of years. He'd also been a key figure at Smile events since the start. Now we are very proud to have this gentleman's grandchildren with us to announce the winner of the Older Person Volunteer for 2021. Have you worked out who it is yet?
The winner of this new award to recognise the Older Volunteer for 2021 is
our granddad, Arthur Barber, also known as Baggy.
It was a pleasure to have met Arthur at Smile events, and we're sure his memory will live on in this award, of which his grandchildren will select the winner each year. Thank you, Jack and Amy.
I'd just like to say a huge thank you to all the volunteers from the Smile Foundation, Humberside Fire and Rescue, and indeed all our council staff for all the hard work they've been putting into our testing centres to make sure that our people in Hull can get their tests when they need them. It's made a huge difference to how we've managed to cope with the pandemic in Hull, and the hard work continues. So I'd just like to say from the City Council, from our public health team, a huge thank you to each and every one of you.
I just wanted to say a massive thank you for volunteering to be part of our public health team in the response against the pandemic. We couldn't have done it without you. Just wanted to say thank you.
So this is just to thank you all for helping us out at lateral flow test sites. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate everything you've done, the time, commitment, and also the sense of fun that you've brought to it. I know it's not been the easiest thing, but we really, really do appreciate you. So from Holster Council and the residents and the staff as well who've used the facilities, thank you so much, and hope to carry on working with you all in the future. Thank you.
Hello. I just want to thank all of the Smile volunteers so much for being part of the lateral flow team. You really are amazing. You bring that lovely, positive, welcoming experience to our customers, always with a smile. We could not have delivered this critical service without you, so thanks again for all of your support.
We'd like to say a huge thank you for all your hard work and continued support. We simply wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Again, a huge thank you for everyone here at the LFT team.
And now onto our final award this evening. It's the Outstanding Volunteer of the Year award. This is supported by Maddle, making a difference locally, and they also choose the winner as well. Now, they felt the winner demonstrated a real sense of dedication and has gone above and beyond in their role in supporting this particular Hull and East Riding charity. I'll hand you over to Kate Carroll, Maddle's head of charity, to give you a few clues as to who the winner is.
Hi, my name's Kate Carroll. I'm from Nicer Retail and I run their Making a Difference Locally charity. We are proud to be supporting the Humber Volunteer Awards for the third year in a row. We know that the volunteers out there are responsible for hundreds of hours of community action and engagement, and we're really delighted that we're here today to celebrate what's really good and great amongst you amazing people, and thank you. We have chosen this winner due to their dedication over the years and their collaboration in leading a successful charity which supports those who could be vulnerable, facilitating great communication within the service, ensuring everyone has had a voice whilst reaching out further into their community throughout COVID. They ensured that COVID policies and procedures were in place and had been practiced by the full community, particularly ensuring people felt safe in their homes. During the pandemic, they helped create food parcels, supported those affected by domestic violence and mental health. And I'm sure you've worked it out by now from all the clues. The overall Volunteers of the Year are Chris and Mia from Emmaus. This commendable couple were hugely influential in the inception and development of a truly wonderful charity before they finally opened it in 2016. They bring a wealth of knowledge, business expertise and focus on people. Both Chris and Mia are an inspiration as trustees and volunteers.
Well done to all our winners. You'll all be contacted by Sarah to either collect or receive your award in the post. And also everyone who's been shortlisted will also receive a trophy, therefore Sarah will be in touch with you as well. Thank you very much for watching this year. We're sorry it's virtual again, but hopefully next year we'll be in person and we'll all be able to pat each other on the back for a job well done. Thank you and good night.